If you've been wondering, is graphic design still worth learning in 2026? You're not alone. Everywhere I look, TikTok, LinkedIn, even coffee shop combos, people are saying things like, AI killed design. Why learn Photoshop when Canva does it all? Graphic design is a dead-end career. I've heard it all before. In fact, I've heard it every 5 years for the last 22. And yet, here we are. I've been a working graphic designer since the days of floppy disks and Pantone swatch books. I've led teams at agencies, built brands for startups, and mentored hundreds of new designers. So let's cut through the noise. Is graphic design still worth yearning in 2026? The short answer, yes, but only if you learn it the right way. Let me explain why. Graphic design hasn't disappeared. It's become invisible infrastructure. You interact with it every time you tap an app, read an email, or scan a product label. In 2026, businesses don't just want good design. They need it to survive. Attention is scarce. Trust is fragile. And visuals decide who gets noticed. But here's the shift. Basic execution is now free. Strategic thinking is priceless. Yeah, anyone can use AI to generate a logo in 10 seconds, but can they tell you why that logo builds trust with a 45-year-old accountant? Or how it scales across a billboard, a mobile app, and a LinkedIn ad? I recently reviewed an AI-generated rebrand for a fintech startup. It looked fine, but it missed the emotional tone completely. It felt cold, generic, like a robot guessed what innovation looks like. A human designer would have asked, who are we speaking to? What feeling should this evoke? What behavior are we trying to drive? That's the gap, and that's your opportunity. Let's be real. Some things have changed. AI can draft concepts in seconds. Canva lets anyone make social posts. Clients expect faster turnarounds. But some things never change. Great design drives action. Bad design costs money. Humans respond to clarity, emotion, and intention. I've seen startups waste $200K on packaging that confused customers, all because they skipped user testing and went with the pretty option. AI can mimic style, but it can't understand culture. It doesn't know why Gen Z loves retro pixel art, or why luxury brands avoid gradients. The best designers in 2026 aren't fighting AI. They're using it to eliminate busy work, resizing assets, mocking up variations, so they can focus on what really matters, solving human problems with visuals. Forget mastering Photoshop. That's table stakes. The skills that win in 2026 are timeless. Typography that speaks. Not just picking fonts, but knowing how letter forms shape perception. A tech startup using Comic Sans? Instant credibility loss. Visual hierarchy that guides the eye. In a world of scroll fatigue, you've got 2 seconds to direct attention. That means mastering contrast, scale, and spacing, not just dropping elements randomly. Brand storytelling beyond logos. A logo is just a symbol. A brand is a promise. Great designers build entire visual systems, color, imagery, motion, that reinforce that promise everywhere. Designing for outcomes. Ask, what should the user do after seeing this? If your poster doesn't drive signups, it's decorative, not functional. When I hire, I don't care if you know 10 Figma plugins. I care if you can explain why you chose 18-point over 16-point and how it supports the client's goal. Software changes. Principles endure. So, is it still a viable career? Yes, but not as a pixel pusher. The most resilient designers blend graphic design with other skills: brand strategy, UX fundamentals, basic motion for social or video, marketing psychology. One of my former juniors now leads visual design at a climate tech company. She didn't just make things look good, she redesigned their onboarding flow and boosted completion rates by 34%. Now she earns 3x what she did 5 years ago. Freelancing? Great if you niche down. Be the designer for SaaS startups or the brand builder for eco-founders. Platforms like designersjoint.com even let you sell your own templates, turning your expertise into passive income. Full-time? Also great, but expect to wear multiple hats. Today's in-house designers touch everything from pitch decks to AR filters. Either path works if you think like a problem solver, not just a decorator. If you're starting today, yes, absolutely, but start smarter than we did. Don't jump straight into tutorials on 10 Figma tricks. Start with fundamentals, typography, composition, color theory, Gestalt principles. Build real projects even for fake businesses. Redesign your local bakery's menu. Create a brand for a mental health app. Solve actual problems. And study why great designs work. Don't just save dribble shots. Ask, what problem does this solve? Who is it for? What emotion does it trigger? Graphic design isn't a get-rich-quick skill. It's a craft, and like any craft, it rewards patience, curiosity, and consistency. So, is graphic design still worth learning in 2026? Yes, because the world doesn't need more people who can drag elements onto a canvas. It needs thinkers who use visuals to clarify, persuade, and connect. AI won't replace you, but a designer who uses AI and understands human behavior, they'll leave you behind. So learn the tools, but master the thinking. Because in 2026, design isn't about making things look nice. It's about making things work. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. What's your biggest fear about learning design in 2026? I read every one. And if you're serious about starting, check out the link below. I've put together a free checklist, 5 fundamentals every designer must master in 2026. Thanks for watching. Keep creating and keep thinking.